Hello, hi everyone. Um, I'm just gonna be waiting for a bit in case people start to join, and if not, I'm just gonna be recording this for the podcast. Because that's pretty much the plan. I'm going to be recording the live stream and then upload the audio as a podcast. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. How are you doing? Let me check if I can put on some music without it disturbing the audio. I'm not quite sure. In case you're wondering, I have like several monitors here and here. So if I'm looking over there, it's not because there's something, just like my music's gonna be over there. So how are you? Yeah, I'm doing okay, thank you. Thanks for asking. I'm fine actually. It is 10 p.m. over here, so I just had a nice weekend. A nice Sunday. Didn't really do a lot of work. And yeah, I'm doing well. I have my candle and I have you guys, so hi, more people are joining in. Hello, thanks for being here with me. What kind of music should I put on? Do you have any wishes or requests? I feel like it's a little bit delayed. If that's the case, I'm sorry for yeah, not responding right away or taking a bit longer for something. Have you listened to Day Day? No, I have not. Is it a song or a band? I'm not sure. Day Day. I'm really sorry if it's like let me just look it up. Oh, damn. New Augusty song, really. Ah, I am so not catching up. Oh, it's an entire album, are you kidding me? And I didn't know about this. Damn. Oh. This is pretty cool. Think I'm gonna be putting that on. I have not listened to any of this yet. Damn, I really like the album cover. Ooh. Oh, it's all English, damn. Okay. I feel like that's the kind of album I should be listening to on my headphones. Okay. I'm gonna be listening to the first song and then probably put on some instrumentals or something. Just because I feel like I can't talk as much with that music. But I like the vibe so far. It's very nice. I'm just reading the lyrics over here, so don't, like, there's nothing else like just looking at the monitor. couple times though. Very nice. Yeah, it's been a very long time since I listened to August Day or any of the members' music. I have kind of like fallen down the metal rabbit hole. After my K-pop phase, I went down to some heavy metal, which has been mostly influenced by a friend of mine who is not here right now, sadly. But yeah, can you even hear the song? I don't really know if it's disturbing the sound, so just let me know if it's bothering you. I can turn off the music. Yeah, just in general, so you can just let me know if you cannot hear me well, or because I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. It's a good song. Okay. Mm. I don't want to interrupt the song, so I'm like, okay. I think I got it. I have a thing that when a song is playing, I have to catch the beat to skip it or to move to the next one, because otherwise I feel like it's unfair to the song. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how it is. Anyway, I am here today to talk. It's just me and comments on the live stream in case there are any. I'm not sure how many people are going to be there. Yeah, the thing is, it's been, I think, over 6 months now since anyone is hearing from me. I uploaded some videos in between, but the last podcast was in October with my friend Vero. But the thing is, it's a bit difficult for us to even find the time to like talk to each other as friends, and that's why it's a bit hard to find the time to catch up and then also record something, because we're not, like, we're living quite far apart and we're both studying full time and stuff. So now I thought, just to have something to like catch up with you guys a bit more often, I can do this and just talk on my own in case you're willing to listen to that. I don't really know if you're interested. Have you eaten? Yes, actually, I have. I had hot pot. I went to have hot pot with a Chinese friend of mine. She showed me this amazing place that has like so many different dishes, and they also have a little robot waiter. Like, it's crazy. It's like living in 2050 or something, but like there's this robot that can like drive around in the restaurant and serves the food to the tables. So yeah, and I'm a big fan of spicy food. Even though I don't eat meat, there was vegan hot pot for me, so I can just put some rice cakes and some like mushrooms and stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I spent some time with my friend today. She is studying at the music university here, which is very tough to get into actually, and she's playing the flute. So as a student of that school, she can like book practice rooms, and she invited me to join her for some practicing. It's been a really long time since I have made music, so it was quite nice to be there. And it really reminded me of back when I had piano lessons and also ballet classes, because the entire school is set for like artistic studies. So They have dance practice rooms and stages, and a variety of different classes. And they also book out the practice rooms with pianos and different instruments and stuff. So that was quite nice. Yeah, we were basically just hanging out and spent some time together. And then we went for dinner, and now I'm here. So that was my day pretty much. How do you make your videos? It depends on the topic, because there are a lot of things that I have like personal experience with, so it's not that hard for me to talk about, because I know what it feels like. So for that, I don't really have to do that much research. I just try to speak my mind and be honest. Yeah. So things that are about like anxiety or eating disorders and depression, self-harm, that kind of stuff, I can relate to very well. So I started off with those kinds of videos to just share my own experience pretty much, and also to try to remind myself in bad times I could go back to watching my own edits to comfort myself pretty much. That's the beginning of my channel. And now usually I have a lot of requests, so I need to do a lot of research because I'm trying to be as informed as I can be. And yeah, I do research about the problem, how the symptoms show, and how maybe to help. So I record the live streams of whomever I'm doing the video with, and I add the subtitles, trying to create the most natural conversation that I can imagine. Trying not to be like romanticizing, but also not critical, just so that people can feel comfortable and not just lectured, but listened to and understood. So it's a bit difficult to find the balance between creating a video that is a lot of like YN talking about her struggles, and balancing that with advice or ideas on how to help out, because I don't want this to be like some lecture about like, oh, you should do this and that and that, but also just like make you feel like you're not alone with it, you know, and you can relate to the things that are said in the video. Yeah, your videos really help me and I like them. That's a very sweet of you to say. I'm glad that they help you and that you like them, and I hope that you'll be getting better. Yeah, in case you need anything, you can always let me know, of course. And yeah, I'm trying to upload more frequently. It has been quite a while, but I have finished a video. I just need to render it and upload it this week, so there will be a new one very soon. Oh, Katie, hi. I love your hairstyle, thank you. I made it this morning because I cut my bangs shorter again, and they're now all over my face. Anyway, so yeah, I thought cute bangs need a cute hairstyle. Yeah, thank you. Right, so that's how I make my videos. I really do hope that they help you. Yeah. It has been quite a while, and the thing is, like, a lot of people request very specific things, and of course I'm trying to make my videos as available to everybody and like understandable for everybody, which of course is not working if it's like too personal. So I'm trying to make it realistic and to create like a situation where you can feel like, okay, these are two people having a conversation, but at the same time it's not that much detail, so you can still kind of apply it to your own situation without it feeling too surreal, you know what I mean? yeah, so sometimes I'm struggling a little bit with the requests to try to make it fit for a video that more than one person can relate to, you know? Yeah. Right. And also, I recently checked. I have more than 100 videos on my channel, which a lot of them I had to unlist because of data protection, and there were some copyright issues because VLive had some problems with me using the live streams, which I understand actually. So actually there are a lot of videos that are not public anymore but used to be, and I'm still trying to find a solution to maybe bring them back. But yeah, so far that hasn't really worked out. Yeah. Right. Maybe I'll find a way sometime in the future, but so far I still have a lot of stuff that is unlisted. Right. Okay. I think that kind of answered the question, right? Yeah. For some videos, it's a bit difficult for me to talk about as well because there are some things that I'm still struggling with, as like to this day. And so it's a bit hard to give advice for something that you don't know how to solve yourself, right? So with things that I feel like I have managed to overcome, it's fine. I know my strategies and I know kind of how I got from there to here. But then with the things that until this day I still feel like I'm struggling with it, it's hard to give someone else advice. It feels like I'm being like a hypocrite, you know? So that's why sometimes it's a little bit hard to make a video about something that is still like a problem for me to this day. Right. So, if there's any more questions? What do you feel about self-harm? Okay, trigger warning. To everybody struggling with that kind of thing. I'm gonna be talking about, if we're talking about my own experience, I don't know how to describe it in like without, I don't know, like being too detailed. For me personally, I had a lot of things that I managed to kind of like deal with by hurting myself. Shut up. Don't say that. Oh, that's not fair. Yeah, you shouldn't be texting me these things. Sorry, my friend is saying some stuff. So yeah, there were a lot of things, like a lot of emotions that I dealt with by hurting myself. And that's why I feel like I understand how that can affect someone. Like for me, there were a lot of like reasons to go that way, if that makes sense. And it makes a lot of sense if you think about it, to put your body like physically in a position where you cannot deal with emotions or thoughts. You're just like pressing a reset button, and that's why I think it works for so many things. But then after a while, you're starting to need that rush and that adrenaline and that reset so much that you forget how to deal with emotions without using that tool, you know. And that's when it gets dangerous, because you're starting to deal with everything by hurting yourself, which is where I went a few years ago. To be honest, I couldn't go a day without it for a long time, and I would say I still regret it like, I'm not blaming myself, but I do regret that it was that way, and that until this day, I will never not have that in my history, and I will never not notice, like, physically. So yeah, up until now, I still feel like I can't wear short sleeves or something outside, because whomever I'm going to meet as a new person, they're going to see that, and yeah, it makes an impression. Hi, Hannah. Nice of you to join. Thank you for being here. How was your study meeting? I hope you did well on the study. Vero just joined us in the chat, so I think it's important to accept the past. Yeah, that's a good point. There is a certain balance that you need to find between being okay with how you are now and being unhappy or like not content, because if you're completely content with your situation, there will not be any change, or any evolvement. But at the same time, if you're constantly beating yourself up about how terrible things are right now, you're never going to make it and get better. You're just going to be, hitting yourself even more. And so I feel like you need to find that balance of saying, hey, I can forgive myself for what happened, and I can be accepting of what brought me to the situation I am in today. And then from that point on, now you can do something to change your future. But what happened. And even though it's a good thing to reflect on it and like how things got this way, you still need to figure out why things happen. So I'm not saying like, oh, don't ever even look back. You should look back. You should look back and see what went wrong. But don't beat yourself up about it. There's no point ruining your present or your future for something that is already unchangeable. So that's a good point. You need to accept what happened in order to evolve and get better. I didn't really study a lot. Oh. Did you end up talking too much, or just not that concentrated? Because for me personally, if I meet with somebody, it's difficult to focus if you're not like agreeing on focusing right now, because you'll always find something to talk about. About the rush thing, people often don't understand that you can find beauty in the darkest time, that you desire to self-destruct. Obviously, you know it's wrong. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's also something to consider and to think about, that there's this quote from a book that I'm reading, and it's that humanity is like longing for something that is so terrible that they find it beautiful. And that beauty is something you want to quiver before, that you want to bow down to, you know? Like, something can be beautiful because it's dark and terrible and scary and, yeah, destructive. That's kind of intriguing to the human mind. And it has been this way for a long time. Like, if you think back to, let's say, antique times, one would say the Greeks, or let's talk about Rome. The people were very cultured, right? They were reading, having wine tastings, teaching in school and stuff. And at the same time, they had like humans fighting each other, and in a like, I don't know, it's kind of absurd if you think about it, right? Like, having all of that terror and destruction and the bloodiness and like grown men killing each other for sport. And then they went back to reading their books and writing poetry. And to this day, we're reading that poetry like, oh, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that like the idealistic way of like thinking about the world? And they write about morale and how to make things right, and like a human becoming a god because of how pure and beautiful they are. And at the same time, it was so dark and terrible, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna find that quote real quick. Give me a second. The book is The Secret History by Donna Tartt, in case anyone cared. Quite in the beginning. There, I think. Yeah. There's this quote that is, "Death is the mother of beauty." And what is beauty? Beauty is terror. And then the next quote would be, "Genuine beauty is always quite alarming." Yeah, the quote is, "Beauty is terror. Whatever we call beautiful, we quiver before it." So I really like that because it feels very honest. Yeah. I think the most important part of recovery is that you want to get better and actually see the light again. It won't work otherwise. Yeah, that's true. I think being desperate and being frustrated is still a lot better than like not caring anymore. I think the worst thing that can happen is actually when you wake up and you really don't care. Like you just feel empty inside. That kind of feeling is the most scary. So for me, actually, a while back, I was at that point where at first I kept struggling, and then because it didn't help at all, I was just walking like through my day like a zombie, like a ghost. I didn't really do anything. I was on autopilot, secretly just hoping for something to happen to me. So yeah. it's the most scary when you finally realize that no matter what happened, you would rather have that than, you know, doing anything about anything. Hi to you too. It's Bisa. Nice to meet you. Nice of you to join. I studied a bit and was successful with what I wanted to study. Okay, that's perfect then. Good job. You did well. Go for a run, it really helps. That's also good advice. Actually going outside and trying to be mindful of your surroundings can give a lot of perspective. Like, it sounds too simple to be true, but if you just go outside and you start looking around and focus on what you can see or hear or feel or smell, it's a lot better than being like stuck in your head. Your own thoughts kind of drift away when you have other senses rushing onto you. So put yourself in a position where, you know, you feel something else. Can you tell the name of the book again? The Secret History. it's about studying Greek. No, it's a murder mystery. It's a dark academia murder mystery. And it's about a group of students in Greek class. And they study, traditional arts. And one of them is killed, which is not a spoiler. This is what the book is about. And basically, in the first part of the book, you learn how it got to that situation. And then in the second part of the book, how the rest of the friend group deals with the death of the other one. Yeah. And I think it's very beautifully written, and I recommend it to everybody. And give credit to my sister for recommending this to me. Yeah. So much for that. Also, reading is something, feels very easy to say that, but I think it helps a lot, because you can get many more perspectives on things, and you can enter the mind of a different person. It makes me feel a bit more at peace, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I recommend reading a book when you feel down or something. Or maybe if reading is not your thing, you can always look up some audiobooks or a podcast, just to have something to keep your thoughts busy, because in the end you need to learn how to deal with yourself, more than just trying to like control your thoughts. You have to let them be there and let them pass, you know? Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if that's good advice actually, but that's what works for me. So anyway, before this book, I read a book that's called 1Q84 by Murakami. I don't know if you know that artist. I think it's a very famous book, and it was quite disturbing. Murakami is famous for writing about absurd kind of I don't know how to say, like topics that are not usually talked about. So yeah, if you like to be fascinated by that, I think Murakami makes sense to read, but it was a very long book and a very disturbing book. So honestly, 1Q84 is very tough to get through. Like, it was fascinating, but disturbing. So yeah. And there's a book of Murakami's short stories that I want to read because his style is very nice, very good language, very poetic. And I really liked it, but the story was just a bit too much. And so I think if you have some short stories, that would be a bit more like easy on the mind, you know? Because I mean, I don't want to read and then afterwards be more disturbed than I am from my everyday life, so right. Just a note, little thought on books. Do you often read books? Yes and no. I have recently started to read a lot again in my free time. Recently being 6 months ago. And before that, I had to read a lot for my classes. That's why I didn't really take the time to read in my free time. But nowadays, I'm reading quite a lot, because I feel like it's helping me just get a bit further away from the entire social media problem, because I feel like whenever there's like 5 minutes of free time, you don't really know what to do. Usually you just go on Instagram or, you know, that kind of stuff. And I now just always carry my book around, and it's so much healthier for my head to just flip a few pages of the book instead of scrolling through social media posts. And so yeah, now I'm reading every day, like quite a lot, like whenever I have some time and before I go to bed. Sometimes it's just like 2-3 pages in one go. I don't feel the need to like sit down for 3 hours and just read, because also that doesn't really fit into my day. Because I'm usually like quite busy, like going here, going there. But yeah, I do recommend that, unless you don't have any space in your pockets. But for me, it's like, if I'm gonna bring a bag, you know, I need my laptop and my iPad and my phone and my keys and my wallet, and why not just throw a book in there, you know? And then I always have something to do. If I have to wait for the bus, I don't care, you know, I just read a few pages and that's it. And it's very good for me to be able to like let go. And yeah, that's why I really like to read lately. So yeah. After this book, I have a list of other books, I think 3 or 4. But if you do have some recommendations, I'm always open for that, because the books that I am putting on my list usually are from like other people telling me, oh, you should read this, you should read that. And so far, other people's recommendations have worked quite well. So yeah, if you have any book recommendations, let me know. I like to read in English as well. German books are also good if they're originally in German, but I don't really like to translate books because I feel like the language doesn't get across as well if you translate it. So even for Murakami, I felt like, of course, the translator is always trying to keep as much of the language as possible, but I feel like if I knew Japanese, I would rather read it in Japanese because I feel like it would have been so much more beautiful. I really want to stay away from social media nowadays. Yeah, me too. It's quite healthy to try to get away from it, to be honest. Because the thing is, you're always confronted with something new, something like more attention dragging, and like something that's catching your eyes, and something even more extreme or more funny and like even shorter. Like, attention span has dropped from a few minutes to 10 seconds with people nowadays, and you get your dopamine rush so easily. It's quite frustrating. Back in the day, I used to think like the easiest form of happiness is eating something, because you eat, you get the sugar rush, and you feel happy. Just physically speaking, like your body is like, yeah, producing hormones that make you feel good. But now, you don't even have to get food and chew and swallow and digest to get that dopamine rush. You just have to swipe. And I think, I don't know, I think people who grow up with just that, of course they don't want to go outside and work for their happiness or anything, you know, because you can just go on TikTok or Instagram or whatever you're using. And it's just changing your perception so much, because all of a sudden you cannot stay still, because every 10 seconds you want like something new, right? Something more extreme, something funnier, something louder, something more colorful, like, and you constantly want to be impressed, that you kind of lose touch to reality, I think. So yeah, me also, I'm trying to stop that going on social media because I'm bored or because I have a few minutes of time and I don't know what to do. I'd rather, yeah, read a book or count the stars, or I don't know. You see, so just be more mindful of your surroundings, or at least of something that's not going to give you like some dopamine rush every few seconds, because you're going to be numb to it after a while. Yeah. Well, I'm so not used to talking this much. I'm really sorry if my voice sounds very strained. I'm trying. Alright. Anyway. That was me ranting about social media. I'm sorry for getting a bit agitated. Yeah. I wanted to put on music, God. completely forgot that. Chill beats. Can you hear the music in the stream? Because I don't know if it gets all the way. It's not that loud. I think the microphone doesn't catch it, which is good because then I don't have to like edit out the song from the podcast recording. I'm a bit lazy when it comes to editing, to be honest. Like at least with sounds, it's kind of. Oh yeah, it's fine. Okay, good. It'd be like just some lo-fi beat sort of music, just to chill. So yeah, how are you doing? How's your day going so far? Oh, you have a math exam? Damn. Are you like in high school, or is it like a school exam coming up? I used to hate exams. I still do, but now I only have them twice a year, so it's a bit better. I just know that back in school, I would die. I'm not even kidding. Like, there were so many days where I could not sleep, and I really wasn't bad. Like, I had good grades, but I was so terrified anyways. Because I always thought, especially if I was good once, people would expect me to get even better, or to like at least have the same results, and that's why it was really scary. Oh, board exams. Damn. Okay. Is it a lot of pressure? Probably, right? Don't know, for me, like, board exams like seems very tough mentally. Honestly, I don't know how I survived high school. I if I were put in the same situation again, I'm so lucky that like I don't have any attendance in university because I can just come and go whenever I want and just sit in the back corner or just don't come and study and then just go to the exam at the end of the year. Why are you making me blue screen? What is that? This is better, right? It's really hard to be honest. Yeah, I can imagine. I wish I could help you. I'm really sorry. But you got this. You got it. It's okay. See, you still have until tomorrow. So, maybe you should be studying. But yeah, how's it going though? Like, do you feel like you're prepared or not really? I'm sure you can manage to do it. Because, I mean, so many people manage to pass. See? How hard can it be? You got it, I think. You'll be fine. Then again, honestly, if you ask me any math question right now, I have no idea. I have a friend, she is studying math in university. Holy shit. Like the stuff that she's doing, oh my god. Also, like theoretical physics class. Sometimes she's like showing me her like worksheets. I'm just like, God. I'm prepared? Okay, awesome. Good job. See? Got it. Easy. So the only thing is just get enough sleep for tomorrow and try to be well rested. And bring water. Don't forget your water. You can bring water for exams, right? Because for me, I always needed a lot of hydration. Like, so I couldn't think if I didn't have something to drink. I don't know if you, like, how long is your exam going? People good at math are just genius. Yeah, I think, like, there has to be some sort of, like, fascination with the task. Like, needing a system and everything and that kind of stuff. Like, I see the appeal, kind of, that things, like, make sense, you know? Like, everything kind of works together, and after a while, you see, like, rules going, like, it's perfect. But, yeah, it's a lot of motivation needed for that, you know? 3 hours? Okay. You definitely need something to stay hydrated in that time. So, yeah. But fingers crossed. You got this. Pretty sure you do. Other than that, right, I wanted to talk about why I haven't been posting. It's been quite a while. And the thing is, I had life to attend to. Right now, I am starting to get back on track, but I had a really tough time. Because actually, this format, like the live stream and the podcasts, were supposed to be a New Year's event. So I had planned that for January, which obviously it's April, so I didn't manage. Which is why I am very sorry about like going MIA for a while. The problem is, usually beginning of February I have my exams, so for January I had to study. I started studying like about 4 to 5 weeks before my exams. I was sick over Christmas and New Year's, so after that I just started working on my exam papers, and yeah, then I had the exam, and usually semester break would start. But the thing is, for my class I need to do an internship, and so I only had 2 weeks time until my internship started, which I had to use for writing my scientific papers that I had to hand in by the beginning of the next semester, which was the beginning of April. So actually, I had 8 weeks time to write 2 scientific papers and do a 5-week full-time internship. So pretty much while I was in my full-time internship working a 9 to 5, actually 9 to 6, I had to write my papers on the weekend. And the thing is also, my parents are kind of splitting up right now. So I am usually trying to go home on the weekend to see my siblings and try to just be there for things to cool down a bit, because I don't like to know that I'm not taking part of what's happening with the family, and I feel a bit responsible for my siblings as well, because my younger sister, she is struggling a lot with my entire parent situation. And so on the weekends I would go home, write my papers on the train, try to be there for them. Sunday nights come back here, go back to work on Monday, then after work write my papers for a few hours, and yeah, that's how 2 months passed very quickly. And then it was April, and now for the last 2 weeks my classes started again, and I'm still not really recovered from the entire stress from before, and so I've been crashing mentally, which I expected. I knew that was going to happen because I know that after I have a really tough time, like a very stressful time, usually during that time I'm okay because I have to work, right? So the adrenaline rush is really helping me out, and just my thoughts are empty. I'm just doing what has to be done, which is good for me in a way, because I've never had that situation where I was so stressed or depressed that I broke down and couldn't do anything. Like usually I manage to finish whatever I have to do, but I knew that as soon as that was over, like as soon as my deadline was done, I would probably fall into a little pit hole, which is where I am now. And so for the last week I haven't left the house as much. Like today I did, and for work I did, because I'm working part-time after my classes, but I haven't gone to uni or any lecture or any like tutorial or anything, and just studying in my room, because I didn't want to see anybody. And yeah, I'm just kind of like trying to pick myself up now, and trying to actually like use the time that I have now after my internship and stuff, instead of like crashing completely, using the time for something that I know is good for me, that I just usually don't get to because it's not as important, right? For example, making music, I always kind of want to do it, but if it's the question like, do I pass my exam or do I practice piano, of course I'm going to study for my exams. So yeah, now I'm trying to like get back on the projects that I had planned a lot longer. So I have same situation as your family. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How are you doing with it? Like, are your parents separating as well? Because it's really tough to deal with, I think. Like, feeling like that conflict is kind of your own, right? Because even if your parents say that it's only their problem and the family shouldn't be worried about it, still in a way, like, it's your parents, right? So you have to be part of it in a way, because without your parents it's not your family. You're really busy, right? I was for the last months. Now I am better, because I don't have attendance in uni. I can skip my classes without any problems. I don't really have to go there. I just need to make sure I study in time. But my exams are still 2 months away, or what? Is it 2? Yeah, maybe like 2.5 months should be fine. So right now I'm just trying to like, calm down a bit and like get back on track mentally. Are you doing fine now? Well, as I said, I am falling into a bit of like a pit hole. Because I was like, just pressing the gas, you know, like just going full speed for a long time. Now I kind of crashed and I'm feeling a bit down and out of energy. But it's okay. Like, there are moments where I feel very guilty and I feel like, oh, I need to do stuff, you know, I need to get back on it and like force myself, but it's not gonna work. And I knew this was going to happen, so I'm just trying to be mindful and just try to take my time, which is a bit difficult for me because I don't like to think that I'm lazy, you know, even though it's not lazy, it's just recovering. But yeah, I have a very strong urge to push myself a lot. Yeah, and so this is kind of hard to deal with right now, but I am holding up, I think. It really affects the whole house and it's really tough to deal with all this. Yeah, I understand that. It's like no matter how hard your parents try to keep it just between them, it's always going to affect everybody in the house. Like, there's no way they could make it only about themselves and not the family. So honestly, I get a bit angry when, like, for example, my dad likes to say that our relationship with him shouldn't be affected by him fighting with my mom. Like me and my siblings shouldn't be acting any differently just because they're not together anymore. And it's so unfair that he just expects us to ignore like the elephant in the room. And it's a bit tough to pretend like it's not kind of all falling apart, you know. But anyway, it's not my conflict to solve, which is what I need to constantly remind myself, because otherwise I'm going to feel guilty about my parents arguing, which I have no control over, even though I would like to. It's okay, it's just another phase of life and we should know how to move on. Yeah, but it's your family, right? It's kind of hard to just move on from that. When you used to be a package deal and now you're all split up. But yeah, life goes on. We're going to find a solution. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep trying to be there for, at least for my sister, because she's gonna be stuck at home for a little while longer. And me, I'm lucky enough to have my own place. And yeah, I hope for you the problem is going to solve itself very soon. Yeah. Family things are always tough. Because, I mean, on one hand you can say, oh, I didn't choose my family, so who gives a fuck, you know? But at the same time, it's like, it's your family, you're bound by blood, right? So it's kind of hard to just say like, whatever. But yeah, kind of also depends on how you grew up and what your history is together. I'm sorry, I'm just playing around with the candle. Like, that's why I'm looking down here. I think there's something very fascinating about fire. And yeah, like the wax, you know, it's kind of like I'm trying to protect my desk from getting splashed. Because the other day, actually it's quite funny, I was blowing out a candle and all of the like melted wax splashed onto the wall, And now I have like red stains on the wall and it looks like I killed someone. But it's just wax and I can't get it off. I don't know how to get it off. So I feel like I need to paint over it when I move. Yeah. So it looks clean again. Anyway. I am starting to run out of breath here. I feel like 1 hour is quite a long time to be talking. So for the podcast, I'm probably gonna edit out some parts. But yeah. I think I'm going to keep it at that for the live stream and for the podcast in the first episode. I hope you enjoyed this time with me and that you're doing well. If you want, you can always let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you have some topic for me to talk about, something you want to share an opinion. And yeah, I hope I'll see you very soon. I'm gonna try to make this happen more frequently than the podcast that never really ended up happening. So yeah, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a good day. I'm gonna be leaving you now. Right. Good night to you too. How do I finish this? I don't know. Okay, bye bye everyone.